Hello and welcome to the 2023 Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc. We're out here at Mill Ridge Park. We were here last year for a Silver Series, but this year it is a Pro Tour event. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're your two hockey.
Well, the normal honk doesn't seem to do well today. We were flying over and we were feeling, how about like a honky tonk?
Honky tonk. Grab your harmonicas, grab your washboards. We got merch. We got 2 shirts, a hoodie, and a crewneck sweatshirt. It's a pre-sale just through Monday, so check it out. Our first merch through Jomez.
Yep, we hope you guys are as excited as we are. We thought the idea was very funny. And in the meantime, we'll get back to our job.
Right.
Mill Ridge Park, par 66 for FPO. It's Tennessee's top disc golf destination. There's so many wooded courses, but we're out here in the wide open. Look at that. The ladies of the Music City Open Disc Golf League with over 100 people.
I think it's 200 people.
Over 200.
Yeah,
wow.
Amazing. Hole 17 is going to be our best separating hole on the course. Can't wait for that.
Earth Day International Course Cleanup hosted by UDISC and Trash Panda. Both of them are awesome. Let's get to know our feature card, Macie Velediaz, a Tennessee local and one of my favorite players. Look at that, 72% fairway hits in round 1 in her Circle 1X putting. Just holding on a little bit.
Missy Gannon, she's no slouch, throwing thrashers all over the place, staying in the fairway, hitting some Circle 2s.
Man, this is a great course for thrashers.
Yeah.
It's like
I think every course is.
Yeah, you're throwing a lot of distance drivers out there. Paige Pierce, also no slouch on the driving range. 66 elite major wins and 68% fairway percentage and 60% Circle 2 in regulation. She is out there trying to get some birdies.
Diann, Carey making big moves. She's with Lone Star Discs this year, the presenting sponsor. Let's see, landing in Circle 1, getting those birdie looks, parking it, just, doing good stuff.
Yeah, we've seen Diann on some feature cards earlier this year. Happy to watch her again.
Hole 1 is a par 4. It's hole 3 from last year's Silver Series, 646 feet. You got to throw through a gap. You want to stay more on the right side or the middle. You can see that left side string line OB. This right side patch is casual, but awful. Do not land there. The OB kind of wraps to the left, and then if you go deep, it's inbounds. Very guarded green. It is birdieable, but it kind of calls for a huge backhand and then a forehand or a very tricky turnover.
So during our practice rounds, we had a completely 180-degree different wind than we do today.
Yeah.
Little windy, rainy conditions. All of your game plans that you came up with and very carefully calculated.
Throw it out the window.
Just drop them all in the mud, which is what we're doing all day today.
And slip in that mud.
Yeah, it got boggy out here. Diann getting tangled up in the first available trees. Paige ripping a huge one out into the middle of the fairway.
Great start.
I'm Missy Gannon. I'm from New York, and I've been playing disc golf for about 8 years now. I went to college, got a 4-year degree, started working full-time. First I was a banker, a teller, and then I was in business banking, and then I moved to Colorado a few years after that, and I was really happy to find disc golf in Colorado. The first time I picked up a disc was kind of mind-blowing in the sense that I thought I knew how to throw a Frisbee, but my friend handed me a driver, and I remember it just going straight up in the air and about 90 degrees left. Continued playing the round, and yeah, the rest is history after that. I've always played competitive sports growing up, and sports was just a really major thing in my community. After going into the working world, kind of missing that in my life, and now I get to call it my job, which is so cool. Played my first sanction event in 2016 in May, and at the time I think I was like 26 or 27, so I was already kind of behind the ball. So I kind of felt like if this is something I wanted to do, I should probably get going. 2017, I played Am Worlds, but ended up taking, third place. And July 2018, I quit my job. Tom quit his job. We packed up everything, sold everything, and hit the tour full time. After that first half a year in 2018, I realized that it was going to be hard to even potentially continue staying on tour in 2019, but for some reason, Tom and I just were so determined, and we were selling discs, hustling, sleeping in the back of the Jeep, or setting up a tent, whenever we could get by on a cheap campground. And now we tow a 26-foot camper, and we have our 2 dogs on the road with us. My Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship win back in 2021 is the biggest win of my career, having won right before that, literally the week or two before that, the Throw Pig Women's Disc Golf Championship. I don't even know how to describe, like, what is happening? Like, why is this my life right now, but in the best possible way? It was just one of those things that I will never forget. My mindset on the course and why I appear so happy all the time is because, one, because I know what the working world is like. I don't want to do that again. You know, when I miss even a circle one putt, it's not the end of the world. I still have the next hole, I still have the next putt. They always say, like, if you're feeling a little bit upset or angry, crack a smile, because it could just be that thing that tricks your brain into thinking that you are happy and you're not nervous. And honestly, I think that that's one of the biggest weapons that I have, trying to remain calm, not be anxious, not be nervous. That just means to crack a smile every now and again.
Missy Gannon, low-key American hero. That was awesome. And a really great first shot.
Dude, I'd buy a Missy Gannon crack a smile sticker.
Yeah.
Like, I love that so much.
I would buy something much more expensive than a sticker.
Also, she truly lives by that because that's legitimately how she is all the time.
Absolutely.
What a great little feature.
I'm excited to see Macie crush some. She's got the distance, folks.
Yeah, she's got a full power forehand as well. She's one of the highest rated players in our field right now. I believe she's up at 960 something.
Yeah.
964.
Sure.
So she's playing that consistent golf. We might not have seen her on some lead cards or feature cards yet, but we will. She got her first Silver Series win at, oh my gosh, what's the name of the course?
Yeah.
The one that's in Virginia.
The one that she
Lake
won.
Lake Marshall. And that's a tough distance course. So super excited to watch Macie.
That was a really good out from Diann. She was in that ditch and had to throw a standstill. She's going to get caught up in this corner on her third shot, though. Bogey might be tough from there. Missy, you can see how far this hole bends left to right. It's really tough to get the backhand all the way there unless you're low-key American hero Missy Gannon.
We had a bit of a tailwind, too, and she made it look like it did not exist.
Yeah, she's caught that last little limb. Ooh, let's see this power forehand, Macie. Gosh.
So good.
She's throwing
Wow.
arrive.
Are you kidding me?
And parking it.
Bullseye.
And I'm so glad that we actually said a thing, and then she did the thing that we said she's good at.
We didn't jinx it. Paige with a classic little turnover shot like she's so good at. Look at this floaty thing.
Yeah,
It's
the
tangled
danger's
up.
just going deep, but she should be able to pitch out of there.
Yeah, there's some little putting holes.
Diann pitching out into circle 2. It was so weird to play in the exact opposite wind. It gets swirly out here at Mill Ridge too. All the hillsides kind of funnels the wind interestingly.
Yeah, with the change in wind, it also changes all the wind pockets because there's certain areas in practice that you wouldn't feel any wind at all, but today they'd be super windy, and yeah, it changed everything.
Yeah, Paige looking like she's got a window. Good run for her birdie.
So hole 1 played is the 5th most difficult hole of the day. Only 2 birdies to be found from the FPO field.
Oh. Diann high. Oof. Rough start. You can see the ground, how muddy it is too. That's definitely going to come into play on some of the side hills when you're trying to throw full power shots. Missy with a nice par, and check out one of the birdies, the 2 birdies of the day.
Holland Hanley getting the other 3.
Oh, Diann.
Whoops. Happens to the best of us.
Ouch, quad to start. God, it looked like it just caught on her fingers. Like, she didn't give it... She didn't really putt it. She just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, we're not going to give that any more time because we've all done it.
Yeah, you're right. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Macie starting out 1 down, along with Katrina Allen as well. Let's get into hole 2. It's one of my favorite holes on the course, also the 4th most difficult hole of the day. This drive needs to push more straight and right in order to set up for this second shot down this wooded fairway. I absolutely love this fairway. I think it's super fun and challenging. There's an out of bounds line on the right-hand side in the woods line. You can see it on the drive, and it tucks a little bit more away on your second shot in the little bushes on the right-hand side. It also comes into play on the left and pinches as you get closer towards the basket. I just think this is a great FPO hole.
I really like it. I do think you need to push that right side OB just a bit to get a good look down the tunnel. And from last year, they did push the basket back probably about a full circle 2, like 60-something feet.
But it feels gettable. It feels like it was a good change, especially for how much better everyone's getting.
Yeah. It's definitely 2 really high-level shots.
Okay,
go ahead.
You can see Paige pushing too far deep. She was trying to set up to be straight and go down that gap. She just obviously threw a little bit too straight there. But if you're going to take one from out of bounds, you want to miss on that right side.
Missy kind of doing the same thing. Normally, this is a good play, and it is usually more of a tailwind that kind of pushes you into the ideal landing zone. Like, it looks like they shanked it, but you do aim at those bushes, and it usually hyzers out.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a left to right cross here. You can see everyone
disc. Doing it. Macie with the big brain going, big forehand.
I love that play.
Playing the wind, yeah.
She might be a little bit pinched, but you can be aggressive there on that second shot, even if you are a little bit pinched.
Missy dealing with some mud.
Headwind.
Yep. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Right side's casual down there, but left side there's still OB if you get a bad kick.
Oh, there's an OB line in the woods.
Well, I think it's
steep in there.
On the right, I think it's a little harder to find than the left.
Uh-oh. Paige trying to turn something over into the gap. I love the play, but it filters out early. Thankfully, she does not find that OB line left. These ladies are probably throwing from about 300 feet away. Maybe a little less.
And it's pretty dead straight. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe a slight turnover, but
slightly downhill.
Diann gets caught up right and lands on the left side behind some trees. Macie's second. She can kind of go hyzer here. It is a little pinched. It's really easy to push too deep on that right side.
I like the low play, but there are a lot of rocks in the fairway, and you kind of have to like toy with the fact that you could get caught up and just get stuck, or as we see Macie get a little skip.
Diann pitching up nicely. That looks like a bullseye hit.
Missy having a lot more to deal with over there, giving herself a long look to save bogey. Par. No, bogey.
Yep.
And just classic geese trying to do math.
You know how it is, folks. Paige getting a little lucky through those trees. It was a good line, just caught the last tree.
There were only 3 birdies on the day on hole 2. And it's crazy because this is one that you're just kind of, I don't want to say you're banking on, but it's well within reach during the practice days. But all the changing conditions made this one really tough to attack.
Mm-hmm. Paige a little left side for her bogey.
I wish there was a stat for how many players went out of bounds, because I bet it was a lot on that tee shot.
Yeah, you do have to get pretty aggressive. Diann with a nice little tester putt there.
Great bogey save.
It's crazy. There's so much mulch on the ground. The staff really did a great job of trying to manage the mud, but you can see just how soppy it is.
Yeah, this was one of the worst greens of the day, but there was a lot of them that were pretty bad.
Macie looking really clean out here, while our other 3 feature card ladies are finding some trouble.
She's used to those Tennessee muddy days.
Yeah.
Sarah Gilpin, one down through 1.
It's through 16.
Oh, well, okay. Wow.
Shredding it.
That's a solid score.
This is a brand new hole. It's kind of a turnover shot, but then you need to fade over the end. The tree we just passed in the middle of the fairway is right in the way. A lot of people are going to land kind of right at circle 2 here. If you're Madison Walker, you might pipe a forehand roller. I don't know.
It is the play, folks. I'm convinced.
Yeah, there is OB on the left side, so if you get a kick over there, it's just a nightmare. It's so hard to scramble. There's OB on the right too, but it's farther away. I think it's a little harder to find, and then it wraps all the way around the basket.
The thing about this hole is that you're just hoping not to catch a tree and kick straight out of bounds, because that is very much in play on both sides.
It looked like Macie was trying to play safe and just pitch a forehand to circle 2, but she gets caught early. Diann hits the tree that I said is right in the fairway. Like, they knew what they were doing when they left that tree.
And Paige going with a roller. I talked her into it in the practice round.
Nice.
It's going to be a little tough to recover, especially that left side is super jail.
Ooh, this looks pretty.
Wow.
Dang. I feel like this hole is 4 trees away from being really fun.
Yep, I agree. It's a tight fairway, but maybe a little bit too tight with that little fairway tree, big fairway tree in the middle. Paige getting up to circle 2 to try to save the par.
Macie with a kind of reverse patent pending here.
This is such a hard turning left shot.
Great shot.
That OB pinches pretty tight around the basket on the green as well.
Yeah, it's pretty close to circle 1, maybe just a couple feet outside. Diann catching the last trees, drop in probably just a few feet outside the circle.
Missy with a 1.5 foot wide gap that looks like she's trying to hit. And she lays it up for
her par. Because math.
I would get my calculator out, but my feathers.
Paige, long look here.
Ooh. These baskets have a really flat top, so it is scary to hit the top because they zoom off and go way past.
Yeah, it feels like, oh, good comebacker though. It feels like one of those Hot Wheels things that boost your car really fast.
Yeah.
Like it just picks up speed and hits the top.
The little Mario Kart arrows.
Yeah, sure.
You zoom. Diann with a solid putt in the wind for bogey.
The wind wasn't the worst. What do you think? It was like 15 and swirly?
Yep. There was a couple gusty times, especially when you were up on top of the hills towards the end of the round, but typically not very intense.
Missy and Macie taking nice pars there. Paige and Diann with bogey.
Our feature card is through hole 3. Sarah Gilpin still 1 down through 16.
Unreal.
Disc golf keeps growing. At the Power Disc Golf Academy, we believe in adding power to the player to level up their game. That's why Paul Ulibarri, a top 50 ranked player, is taking the past 18 years of teaching disc golf and boiling it down into lessons across every subject. From driving, to putting, to drills, to practice, to mental game, and much more, all to give you the power to grow as a player. Grow your game with the Power Disc Golf Academy.
Hole 4, our first par 5 of the day at 814 feet. You want to just throw something as far as you can and set yourself up for one of these 2 gaps. In practice, I was loving the left gap, but today was a headwind, so that right gap's looking really nice. Your second shot goes out into this big field, and your third shot ideally goes to the bullseye so you can tap in your birdie. Obviously, a lot can happen between now and then, but there's really not a lot of out of bounds you have to worry about except for on this tee shot. The second shot and third shot can just go wide open. That corner is what comes into play the most quickly. Also, if you hyzer something out, but it was a headwind, so it'd be kind of hard to find that left side OB.
They did move this pin back something like, I would guess, 80 feet. It was down the hill a little bit, which was awesome in practice because I was like, oh man, I can get this one now. I do think everyone in the field could potentially get this one. It's a great turnover from Missy. A little low and a little bit earlier than you want, but definitely not bad.
I think being a little bit more in the middle or even left is better for the second shot. Being pinched off to the right makes it very difficult because the gaps get narrower the more right you go. It kind of closes them off a little.
I see what you're saying. I think Diann will be in a good spot. Paige taken to the skies here. I lost it. There it is.
Like a golf
That looks
ball.
solid. Yeah.
It's gone.
We need like the follow flight like they have in golf for every shot.
That's the only reason you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Macie with a wide open look at the right side gap like Madison was saying. And on this one, it's good to land right side too just to open up that final shot to the basket. Oh, Missy is a little pinched.
It's very important on your second shot not to be pinched over to the left side. It makes the third shot really tough. So you can see Missy throwing a big turnover, just trying to get way out into the field.
Yeah, solid shot. Diann in great position here. She's throwing her curl. And it curls up nicely. Paige probably just going really tall. Yep. It's kind of spiky hyzer.
She's not happy with it. It might be a little
too spiky.
Oh, wow. Yeah, really pinched.
She's pretty close though. She's got to be only 100.
Yeah, does she make it almost
less
to
than
the corner?
150 feet away for sure?
Missy's third. She's got about a 300-foot hyzer to the green. The pin's elevated and it drops off behind down a little hill. She comes up short and she'll be on the edge of circle one.
Yeah, definitely a tester putt that can get dangerous if she misses, like air balls, you know.
Macie probably closer to 220.
Goes a bit deep.
Yep, skips down the hill a little bit. She'll have comebacker to an elevated pin uphill.
And Diann's shot is fading a little early.
Nice little backboard back out to the edge of circle one.
Oh my God, Paige. Oh, she did. Okay, so yeah, 150 seems about right.
Yep.
And luckily she was on the edge and throws a decent recovery shot.
Yeah, buzzing the basket.
Everyone definitely having more of a putt than you would like on this elevated pin on a hillside, though.
Wow.
Okay, just kidding. That's exactly the kind of putt that Missy Gannon likes on an elevated pin on a hillside.
Oh, she's all up in the bushes too. Nice.
Sick bird.
I love that she's running that putt.
Yeah,
I love that.
always.
Aggressively. On the straddle putt too, and she's much more of a stagger putter. Super solid.
Diann's birdie attempt comes up low, but sits. Par feels fine on this one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Dude, long putts all around.
Mm-hmm. Paige getting her round going with the birdie there. Oh, you sit there.
Macie just a little low. And she'll have to settle.
Good catch.
We'll blame it on the wind this time.
Macie definitely in control so far, but Missy and Paige finding some green.
Colin Hanley, Sarah Gilpin, and a few others at even par.
Hole 5 is a par 4. You are shooting out of this gap. You want to get pretty far down into this corner to these left gaps where that bridge is a good gap to try to hit on your second shot. I think this one is so hard to get all the way there for a putt. You see the OB that lines to the left and comes up on the right side very close to the pin.
All the bushes short of the green are out of bounds as well on the right side, so you can't really afford to be aggressive and come up short. This hole is going to play, it's the third most difficult hole of the day, and it's going to play tough solely because of lack of birdies.
I will say that a lot of people call this hole 5, but I like to call it hole 1. I missed my tee time, and this is where I started. Anyway, Missy with a really great shot there. Being up on that hillside left does give you some options on which gap to take. That's a good shot from Paige, but if you're that far right, sometimes it can pinch you off. I do think she lands really nicely by the gap.
I think this hole is for the people that have the big sidearms, or like Paige can throw those like slower speed discs at a big turnover. Because if you don't have that, this hole I think is almost impossible to birdie without a throw in.
Last year, this hole was so much shorter. It was like before that OB corner near the green. Mm-hmm. It was short of that. So it was much more of a placement shot to the gap, and now it's kind of big distance placement.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see many birdies out here. It's just going to be the big sidearms that we'll have a look at it.
Diann with a really nice turnover. It was a headwind on the approach here, so she really trusted her disc there.
Missy lining herself up with one of the gaps. She gets to even throw a hyzer, which is nice.
That's what I like that play, like pushing really far off the tee so then you can throw that hyzer shot.
She'll still come up short of circle 2 with kind of, I think, an obstructed putt.
Yeah. All these other ladies are throwing kind of these turnovers and hyzers through the gap.
Even Macie with the big sidearm is still struggling to get up there.
Oh, good shot. I thought she turned it over too much. Gosh, she has so much power on that forehand. Paige with a pretty decent look at it. Overturns it just a bit, though.
Only one person got to circle 1 in regulation, and only three got to circle 2 in regulation in the FPO field. So this one was tough to find. Olin Hanley was on my card, and she got to circle 1 but missed the putt. And I think she might have been the only person to do it with her huge sidearm.
Yeah. Macie laying up nicely to the bullseye. Paige is just outside the bullseye. Missy needs to kind of wrap this corner. That looked like a run, kind of. Nice up. Oh, interesting. You don't usually see little chip up shots from Diann. She does pull it, though, and leaves herself a tester putt for the par.
The way FPO is right now, you almost have to have that shot. You can't really get by without it anymore. Yeah. I love to see people integrating new stuff. Even though this one didn't work out, keep trying, Diann.
Well, she'll gain confidence from this. I mean, just the decision to choose that shot, even though it's not necessarily her strength right now, is important.
Paige coming up low for her par putt.
Macie squeaky clean through 5.
She's making this course look easy.
Yeah, I was 16 over by this point.
Yeah, for everyone wondering what happened to Erika out there, she's fine. She's alive.
Yeah, my phone died. It didn't charge. And if you didn't know, if you miss a hole, it's par +4.
Yeah, for everyone that's not familiar with that rule.
Yeah. Enough about me. Let's watch the golf.
I bet people were a little worried, though.
I got a lot of very concerned texts.
Yes, everything okay? So we moved from the third hardest hole to the second hardest hole, knocking out a lot of the hard holes in the front 9, but the back 9 is no slack either.
Yeah.
Hole 6 at 849 feet, another par 5. And this tee shot, I think, is what makes it the most difficult, although every shot is hard. But ideally, you're landing short of these little stakes. It's tough. You have to carry OB if you're wanting that good tee shot, because you want to be further left in order to set up your second shot. A hyzer, ideally, into this area. The whole right side is out of bounds, but the left side is casual. It's nice because you can afford to flirt with the woods a little bit more and be aggressive, but you just don't want to turn it over. Your third shot, ideally, you're throwing a forehand or a turnover to the green. Most of the strokes are going to come from this tee shot, though.
Yeah, I think this kind of corner, this artificial OB corner, is so mean. Mm-hmm. That was a great shot from Missy.
Yeah, and also your placement here, even if you land safe, dictates the way the rest of the hole is going to go.
Yeah. I would say you need to land in like a 10-foot radius in the upper left corner by that ditch, or else birdie's so hard to even conceive. This looks really solid from Macie, and she's in a good spot, but still not in the perfect spot.
Yeah, you almost want to be pushing the out-of-bounds line left.
Yeah, like in that left corner by those posts.
You can see Paige really looking like she's sawing one off.
Yeah, this is aggressive going for that landing zone. Oh, and that's... The thing is that's exactly where you want to land. It was like, almost perfect.
I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a par, like is able to rescue a par.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but it's, attainable.
I really like this hole, even though this tee shot is very hard. I think it's a really awesome hole.
I just think you don't need the artificial OB because if you don't land where you need to land to attack the gap, you will already be punished. You don't need to be doubly punished.
That is very true. And the rough is very rough here. So Missy is pinched and she's literally needing to go to the right here. You'll see her throw a turnover. And if it does not turn enough, that rough on the left is brutal.
That was really good.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big sidearm or kind of a strange turnover from there to attack the green.
Yeah, they pushed this one really far back. It was a par 4. Now it's a par 5, so this hole just S-curves twice. The old double S.
Mm-hmm. Diann going big, taking to the sky. Wow, she found that corner.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough there.
I mean, she just threw like a 320-foot shot.
I think she's safe, but blocked.
Macie opting for a little chip sidearm.
Chip?
Well,
do you mean full power rip?
I mean, she can't go too far.
Yeah, you're right.
It was like probably 250.
Yeah. She's in a pretty decent spot. She probably wants to be a little bit more to the right. And Paige lined up, that's literally the landing zone is what we're looking at.
She has a pretty simple hyzer as long as it doesn't go in the...
Ooh,
wow.
It's dense in there.
It is dense. There's an OB line back there. You have to go pretty deep.
Kind of on the other side of the woods. Like you really have to saw it off. Missy's third. It's largely straight, which she's good at.
But there's
it's
OB.
Just kind of narrow, so it's tough.
There's OB over there, and she finds it.
Yep.
Dang. Right on the edge of circle, she'll be able to putt to save par.
Man, Macie positioned so well.
Little flex shot to the green. She's great at.
Moonshine Felon. Looks like it's stabling out. Oh my God, it's so perfect.
It's so good.
I should shut up until it lands. Wow. She just really chopped that hole up so well and just shows what the power sidearm can get you on some of these really difficult holes.
Diann doesn't quite turn it over as much as you want. Fluffs it out of bounds right around the edge of circle 2. She's not looking like she's committing today or something. It's a little bit of a rough start.
Oh my God.
It's hard to bounce back.
Look at this.
Speaking of rough.
Look at this one gap she has.
Her second sidearm roller of the day.
Oh no.
Oh man, that is the nightmare.
Yep. Throwing 6. Oh, and that's short too.
The snowman's looming. I don't like the snowman.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's cold, but it's not that cold.
It was chilly today.
It was chilly. Diann throwing a sidearm, leaving it short. She'll have a little bit of a tester.
Paige for a 7.
This played as the second most difficult hole of the day, and look at all the ways you can get into trouble.
Yeah. And I think I don't know what I think. It's just hard out here, folks.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Oh, Missy running it hard. Love that. There were only 4 birdies today.
Diann for her double bogey at circle's edge. Ramps off the Hot Wheels track.
Strikes again.
Little 20-ish foot comebacker for Diann.
There we go.
Man, plus 9 through 6 hurts.
So I think in Paige card and a triple as well. I think this track plays a lot tougher in the wind that we had versus the wind we had in practice. Because what a great birdie from Macie.
Yeah.
She's making it look easy, but I really do think that the wind direction that we have today, because during practice, it was probably like 25 or 30 mile per hour winds. So it was like a stiff wind, but it was a lot easier to score, I feel like, than the north winds we had today.
Yeah. And just, we just practiced it differently. Macie, though, 2 down, a clean 2 down through 6. Holland Hanley, Sarah Gilpin in the clubhouse finished even par. Fantastic score.
She probably had to play 10 holes in the rain today, too.
Yeah, it was raining this morning. Hole 7 is a fun new hole. They built these really sweet platforms for us. You're throwing over this tall grass that's all just casual. It's inbounds. The out of bounds comes up really fast on the right. You kind of want to throw over the right side grass and then hyzer in. It's really easy to push deep by going too straight. And then the other mistake that commonly happens is you kind of saw one off, and there's quite a few trees on the left that can kind of tangle you up.
It was a straight headwind / right to left cross here.
Yeah, it was a tail in practice.
Yeah, it made it really tough to get to this green. I think this where Macie just lands it is a very common landing spot for FPO.
And hopefully an easy par for her.
Whereas in practice we were able to attack this downhill 430-foot hole and like get birdie looks very easily. This wind made you want to play a little bit safer, because if you do flip it, you will find out of bounds very easily. So you can see everyone kind of bailing out their hyzers early and left and hoping to just be able to maybe have a long putt, but probably just lay up and play for par.
Missy and Macie, both really decent shots there considering the wind. Diann getting aggressive, calling for it to fade.
That must be a beefcake disc. Look at that skip too.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, in the tailwind, this one's really, really fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
Paige has the distance to get there on a full hyzer, but
Might
this
be
one gets
fading
lifted.
too much.
Yeah.
But not bad. Everyone's past the tall grass or at the edge of it at the very least. Whoa.
Uh-oh. Got a little tangled in the old hand. Oh, maybe she caught a piece of grass as well.
Yeah, that was a really strange release from Missy. She did kind of slap the grass angrily, as angry as I've ever seen her. Macie laying up with a beautiful touch sidearm.
Oh, I think Mo for Missy comes to mind. Write in the comments if you agree. Hashtag Mo for Missy. Get that grass out of here.
Yeah. Missy gives it a run downhill.
It's a lot steeper than it looks.
Yeah, more of a comebacker than you'd like. Boom.
Nice. So this one is the 7th most difficult hole of the day, and there were no birdies.
We're going to see some this weekend for sure.
Zero.
Stick around, people.
No one made it to Circle 1 in regulation, and only 3 people on Circle 2 on regulation, and that just shows you how rough that wind was up on top of that hill. I mean, this was like a gimme in practice.
Yeah, this was one that par did not feel good in practice. But it felt great today, and Macie, Diann, and Paige find their par. Missy with the bogey. Should we keep talking about how good Macie is?
Yeah, she's still bogey free.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Everyone else struggling just a little bit. I think even par is going to be good from what we're looking at today. That's going to keep you in the top 10 so far. Hole 8 at 315 feet, and we are officially in the woods. Love this from Mill Ridge. I like the slight turnover, aiming at the stuff on the left-hand side, letting it work right, and maybe get a little gentle fade at the end, making it around these trees and skipping up into Circle 1. You can throw a straight shot as well, but it's a pretty tight, narrow tunnel. You do not want to catch those trees on the right-hand side and kick in because they are very, very thick. No real out of bounds you have to worry about.
I like the same play as you, Mad, the kind of aim at the left turnover, but I think it's really hard to find the circle. Like Circle 2 on a good shot's kind of typical.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a big difference between... So one person makes it to Circle 1 in regulation and 30% make it to Circle 2 in regulation.
Yeah. Macie had all the power to get there, but gets caught up on that last tree. Drops in a fine spot, though. Like, this is pretty typical from Diann here. She lands, I think, just outside Circle 2, but has a look and easy birdie, hopefully. Paige early.
Yeah, doesn't quite get that turn.
It is worth noting that Paige is dealing with like a mild, very mild shoulder injury, but she did say it was getting to her a little bit during the round, just kind of messed with her timing. Ooh. Missy high and early. That's not the worst kick you could get, but it'll be a bit of a tough scramble. She's probably still, 275?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Ooh,
A nice
slip.
Yeah, it was so boggy over there, but it still turns out just fine.
Great shot. Style points for the spin. Oh, whoa.
Oh no.
Paige, deep in the woods again. What a horrible place to land.
Yeah, the rough is so bad on these wooded holes.
Don't you always just think when you're in there, like, how on earth could I even get this far in here?
Yeah,
like
how
looking
did I
around
get-
at the jail.
How did I get in here, but I can't get out?
Yeah. Macie with a little turnover sidearm. Solid.
Perfect. God, she's playing so clean. She's got it all.
She's got it all. She's back.
Paige, her third forehand roller of the day.
And if that doesn't say much about the round, like nothing's going to say a clearer story, I think, of what's happening.
Diann throwing her birdie look here. A nice little floaty bid.
Whoa. Oh, that looked great.
There were 2 birdies on the day, Holland Hanley and Paige Shoe.
Nice. Paige. Yes. Great putt.
What a bogey
I
save.
know. Yes, let's see this again.
Jomez sneaking it in over the cage.
Dead center. Beautiful.
The forehand roller pays off.
So it was a circle 2 putt, man.
Missy to save par.
Little low right for Missy. Let's go, Macie. You keep it going.
We love to see it.
We love to focus endlessly on it.
She's also just generally one of the best people ever.
Yeah.
So we love to see her doing well out here. Missy, unfortunately, going to have to card a 3rd bogey in a row. And that's just how it be out here sometimes. Mill Ridge, it's such a fun track. I really do love this course, but it can play tough. That is for sure.
Macie, just doing stuff. Holland Hanley, doing some stuff too. Hole 9, let's round it out with that really great commentary. This is much shorter than last year. It's 327 feet. They cleared out this left side quite a bit. It is a tunnel shot. There is a right side fence line that's OB. It's pretty deep in there. You see a lot of people just throw a straight fairway, maybe mid-range. I don't think there's putters, but it does play a lot shorter because it's downhill. I really like the out to the left sidearm skip play. There's also danger behind the basket. The OB comes into play probably right at circle's edge.
Yeah, that's what makes the forehand play a little scary because you can very easily find that deep out of bounds.
I think you can find it either way, backhander. Well, maybe not with the mid-range, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone taking the right side straight shot.
I like this play from Diann. She was hoping to get it to turn a little bit more, but it still gets down to right around the edge of circle 1, and she'll have a circle 2 putt for birdie. This grass is super grabby. You don't get a lot of, I was going to say you don't get a lot of ground play, but she sure did.
Well, I
Right
think
into
might
a
have
tree.
Caught that root.
This is a super fun hole. I emptied my bag in practice.
Yeah. Also, these last couple of holes are just so pretty.
Yep.
Missy sliding one up there into circle 2. This hole last year was like one of the hardest holes on the course.
Oh, really?
It's so much. It was like a 90-degree. Your first shot was to where the tee is now.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a
little two-parter.
complete right angle. And I can't tell you, it was a forest right behind this huge tree. It's amazing how much work they put in. The course really looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really loving this disc golf course, especially the FPO tee pads. I feel like are very well thought out.
Yeah, I think they're smart. Missy with a, way left bid, and that's pushing OB. Well, it looks like it checks up.
So 12% of the field got to circle 1 in regulation, and about double that got to circle 2. Diann, one of them. Missy, one of them. Not capitalizing, unfortunately, for the birdie.
That, Paige just high on her par bid. That OB is more like 20 feet, 25 feet. Yeah. At its shortest. Diann putting together, some clean pars here, the last 3. Definitely cleaning it up after a rough start.
Nice par from Missy as well.
And Macie to keep that bogey-free round going. 2 down, bogey-free, living the dream.
Mm-hmm. And that rounds out our front 9 holes. The back 9 gets very interesting and very crazy. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Holland Hanley and Macie Velediaz tied at the top at 2 down, and there are only players under par.
Sarah Gilpin in the clubhouse, even par. Kona Montgomery 1 over. Kristen Tatar. Chrissy Fountain 1 over. 2, 3, 4, 5 over is going to round out your top 20.
Check out Henna Blomroos's back 9. She popped off and got about 1 million birdies.
Yeah, nice.
It's looking like to be in the top 10, you need to be at 3 over par. And in the top 26 over par. So it is tight. It's everyone's in the running. Everyone's in the race here on day 1. And I think in some calmer conditions, we could see a lot happen. I'm very excited about the back 9 and the rest of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for hanging out with the Hot Geese. Thanks to our Founders Club. You guys keep this all happening. We got 9 more. We'll see you guys on the back. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. Welcome to the Honky Tonk.
Oh.